Søren Kierkegaard, the founder of Existentialism, believed that most people exist in a state of despair, not from sadness, but from failing to live authentically. He identified the anguish of living behind a false identity, pretending to be someone you're not. How many of your decisions have been based on what you should do, rather than what you actually want? It's a difficult realization, but it's also the first step toward freedom. Only after you recognize the illusion can you start to break free from it. The version of yourself that you present to the world, the persona, is a mask carefully crafted over time to gain acceptance and avoid rejection. But beneath the mask lies something greater. Your true self, long suppressed but ready to be acknowledged and set free if given the chance. Who you are is not just a matter of your occupation or superficial life history. Many people define themselves by the roles they play, nurse, engineer, parent, as if these titles capture their essential being. But strip away those labels, and what remains? That's the basic question at the heart of existentialist philosophy. Think back to when you were much younger, before the world instructed you on who you were supposed to be. You weren't an accountant or an admin officer by birth. What were you drawn to intrinsically? What instincts did you have about how you wanted to spend each day? Much of that raw, unmolded version of yourself still exists within you. Your full potentiality is hidden, but not lost, and remains a real part of who you are today. Now ask yourself, who are you when no one is watching? Imagine being on a desert island with everything you need, free from judgment and expectations. With complete honesty, who would you become in that space? The answers to these questions are the first clues to finding your true self. Many spiritual traditions have explored the concept of self-identity. Centuries ago, the ancient Greeks inscribed the words, "Know thyself," at the Temple of Apollo in Delphi, emphasizing that self-knowledge is the beginning of wisdom. In Eastern philosophy, the journey of self-discovery is often described as seeing past illusions, realizing that we are not merely our thoughts, our roles, or our experiences, but something much deeper. The concepts of nirvana in Buddhism and moksha in Hinduism focus on liberation from false identities and illusions, leading to a return to the essence of who you are. So, where does the journey begin? The first step is awareness. Start by observing yourself, your thoughts, emotions, and reactions. Pay attention to the patterns you've been following. Do they truly belong to you, or were they shaped by someone else? The second step is exploration. Open yourself to new experiences, ask meaningful questions, and let curiosity guide you. Who are you beyond your job, your relationships, and the story of your past? And finally, welcome the discomfort. Growth rarely happens within the boundaries of the familiar. Listen up, friends, because this matters. You need to understand that this journey isn't about discovering a flawless, final version of yourself. It's about embracing change, growth, and the continuous unfolding of who you are meant to become. The self isn't a fixed point you reach. It's a lifelong process of becoming. Consider, too, that the hidden side of your personality is what Carl Jung called the shadow. It holds the unconscious traits and desires we outwardly reject or suppress. Self-discovery isn't about becoming a perfect, two-dimensional character, but about becoming whole and fully integrated. The greatest tragedy isn't failure, mistakes, or even pain. It's moving through life without ever truly understanding who you are. Because the moment you find yourself, that's when life truly begins. The first and most transformative step is alignment. Finding yourself isn't just about understanding who you are. It's about shaping your life around that truth. Think of your life as a puzzle. Every decision you make, every relationship you nurture, and every habit you maintain is either a piece that fits or one that does not. If too many pieces are misplaced, the picture of your life will always feel incomplete, distorted, or frustrating. So ask yourself, where in my life am I out of alignment? Are there areas that no longer reflect who I truly am? Maybe it's a job that drains you, a relationship that no longer brings growth, or even a daily routine that keeps you stagnant. Once you recognize the misalignment, you can no longer ignore it. Awareness alone isn't enough. You must also find the courage to act. This is where many people hesitate. Realigning your life often demands tough decisions. It might require walking away from something that once provided comfort. It might mean disappointing others. It might mean stepping into the unknown with no clear roadmap. But here's the paradox. The longer you delay these changes, the more disconnected you will feel. The more you wait, the heavier the weight becomes. Think of the people you admire most, not just those who are successful, but those who embody authenticity, purpose, and inner peace. What do they have in common? They have built lives that align with who they truly are. They have made the difficult choices. They have confronted their fears. And because of that, they wake up every day knowing they are living life on their own terms. But how do you make this shift? How do you move from simply knowing to truly living? One of the most effective strategies is intentional decision-making. Every time you face a choice, ask yourself, does this move me closer to my true self or further away? Am I making this decision out of fear, obligation, or expectation? Or is it rooted in authenticity, purpose, and freedom? If you start making choices from this place, your life will begin to transform in ways you never expected. Of course, this journey won't be without challenges. You will face resistance from within yourself and from the world around you. Your own mind will try to pull you back into familiar patterns, feeding you doubts, fears, and excuses. People in your life may resist your transformation, especially if they benefited from you staying the same. But here's the truth. The ones who genuinely care about you will support your growth. And those who don't, they were never meant to walk this path with you. Viktor Frankl, the renowned psychologist and Holocaust survivor, believed that true fulfillment doesn't come from chasing pleasure or avoiding pain, but from discovering a deeper purpose. Through his experience in concentration camps, he observed that survival wasn't just about physical endurance. It was about having a reason to keep going. Those who found meaning, whether through love, responsibility, or a cause greater than themselves, were the ones who endured. Meaning is what gives us the strength to face hardship and the clarity to live authentically. But here's the most extraordinary part. When you start living authentically, life begins to unfold in ways you never imagined. The right opportunities emerge. The right people find their way into your life. Your decisions become clearer. When you operate from truth, everything else starts falling into place. Now, one final and most profound lesson remains, one that will completely transform the way you see yourself and your place in the world. In the next section, we'll uncover the deepest secret of self-discovery. It won't just help you understand yourself. It will show you how to live with purpose, fulfillment, and peace. If you've come this far, don't turn back now. The most powerful realization is still ahead. You are still here because something inside you is searching for truth. Now we reach a realization that could shift everything. Not just how you see yourself, but how you choose to live from this point on. What if I said that finding yourself isn't really about discovering something new? What if the deeper truth is that you were never lost at all? Think about it. From the moment you came into this world, the core of who you are has always been there. But over time, layers of conditioning, expectations, fears, and beliefs buried that truth. You were never missing, just hidden beneath the roles and stories you were told to live by. But here's what often goes unnoticed. The hidden self doesn't just sit passively in the background. Carl Jung called this the shadow, the unconscious parts of ourselves that influence our behavior without permission. The emotions we suppress, the instincts we deny, the desires we try to erase. They don't disappear. They find other outlets. They seep into our words, shape our reactions, and guide our choices. In fact, research in modern psychology confirms that many of our decisions are made unconsciously before we even become aware of them. The rational mind simply steps in afterward to explain and justify the action. If we ignore the shadow, we lose touch with this hidden driver. We end up living reactively, inconsistently, and with less control over the direction of our lives. But here's the truth. Finding yourself isn't a single moment of clarity. It's a journey, a gradual unfolding, an ongoing discovery. The deeper you go, the more you'll realize how much of your life has been shaped by layers that were never truly yours. Now, the choice is yours. You can dismiss what you've learned and continue following the path others laid out for you. Or you can walk forward with this awareness and build a life that truly feels like your own. Because life doesn't truly begin the day you're born. It begins the moment you stop running from yourself and start owning who you really are. And with that, your journey continues.